Ambushed near her apartment. We hear from the victim of this attack. She describes the scary encounter. Preparing for Paris, we talk to Funny Man and Tonight Show host Jimmy Fallon, who is also hosting the closing ceremony of the Olympics, how he's getting ready for the games. Hello, everyone. You're watching The Rundown. I'm Robin Winston. More on those stories coming up in a moment. But first, high rents are putting many people here in L.A. under a lot of stress. Many live with the constant fear they will end up homeless. That's according to the UCLA's 2024 Quality of Life Index. It's an annual survey, and for the second time in 3 years, it is at its lowest point in history. The survey measures people's well-being on a scale of 10 to 100. This year's number is as low as 53, with people concerned about inflation, the high cost of living, and also housing. Tenant advocacy groups hope it sends a clear message to elected officials.
The problem isn't over. Yes, COVID passed, or, to some people it hasn't. It's not over.
A report by the Housing Initiative at Penn State estimated that between 97,000 and 153,000 households in the city of LA were behind on rent as of August 2023. All right, it's time to get an update on the forecast. We have some changes in store. Let's check in with meteorologist Belinda Leon.
Oh, we're closing out the work week, headed into the weekend, and I've got some changes to talk about. We're going to have the return of the onshore flow with areas of clouds and fog. Temperatures slightly cooler to close out the work week, highs in the 60s and 70s. If you're a fan of the warmer weather, you don't have to wait long to feel it over the weekend. High pressure moves back in. The weather will be dry. The temperature's warm. We'll be back into the 80s. Now, here's a look at the trend for our friends in Van Nuys, where we have temperatures at 78 for Thursday. Gets a little cooler on Friday. Then over the weekend, you see the numbers rising. On Sunday, we're looking at a high of around 84 degrees. Because April is a transitional month, we can also see the pendulum swing the other way next week. For the middle of the week, another cool down and possibly a storm, so stay tuned.
More than 100 victims who were abused by Larry Nassar will receive part of a $100 million settlement. Two people close to the negotiations told NBC News about the 9-figure payout. The disgraced former doctor for Team USA Gymnastics was convicted of sexually abusing Olympic and college athletes back in 2017. The Justice Department found that the FBI failed to properly act when the women raised concerns about the doctor. Police are looking for this man who attacked a woman, shoved her to the ground, then snatched her purse. She was ambushed Monday afternoon near her apartment in San Fernando. And you can see Juliana Murillo was walking home, her hands filled with flowers for her mother's birthday, when a man drove up in a dark sedan, then jumped her. This all happened in the middle of the afternoon near several homes and businesses.
I hit my head on the door. I just kept saying, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" He used force to turn me over, and he pulled up my purse and took off.
After grabbing the purse, the man jumped back into his car and sped down Park Avenue toward First Street. Juliana says her purse was later found dumped. A big decision on Capitol Hill. The Senate voted along party lines to dismiss impeachment articles brought by Republicans against Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. Mayorkas is the son of Cuban refugees who grew up in Beverly Hills. And the impeachment showdown was over his handling of the border crisis. Republicans accuse him of refusing to enforce immigration laws passed by Congress. But Democrats say there's no impeachable offense.
Does not allege conduct that rises to the level of a high crime or misdemeanor and is therefore unconstitutional.
He's probably the least effective and I think most dangerous in terms of his policy implementations of any cabinet secretary in the history of the United States.
Meantime, Speaker Johnson released plans for his $95 billion aid package for Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan. But it's angered enough House conservatives, some of whom have called for Johnson to resign or be subject to a vote to remove him as Speaker. New details in that commencement controversy at USC. A group of faculty members sent a letter to the provost Wednesday, speaking out against the decision to cancel the valedictorian speech. We got a response to that letter from USC. Their statement reads, in part, the decision had nothing to do with the background or viewpoint of the valedictorian, but was instead based on a careful and holistic review of the situation from a safety and security standpoint. While the decision was difficult, it was necessary to maintain and prioritize the security of the USC community. This comes after several groups raised concerns about the valedictorians' connection to what they called anti-Semitic rhetoric. Earlier this week, she responded saying, quote, "By canceling my speech, USC is only caving to fear and rewarding hatred." There's a new effort to reverse a ban on children's books in Orange County. Earlier this month, the Huntington Beach City Council approved an ordinance to create a parental review board. The board will have the power to approve or deny children's books and materials. Wednesday, a group of educators, parents, and activists launched the Book Loose initiative. Their goal is to get the initiative on an upcoming ballot so voters can weigh in on the issue.
Because we believe that parents should be able to parent their own children. I shouldn't have another parent or grandparent telling me what books my granddaughters can or cannot read.
Veteran librarians at the local public libraries in Huntington Beach have already received orders to recatalog and remove books for residents under 18 years old. The wildlife crossing on the 101 is starting to take shape. This week, closures began for a pivotal phase of the project in Agora Hills. It is expected to take more than a year to complete, but workers are already making some significant progress, including hoisting the first of those huge steel beams into place.
It works for two reasons. One, we don't want more mountain lions or wildlife to get hit by cars, but also the mountain lions south of the 101 right here, they're inbreeding themselves out of existence. So this is going to ensure a future for them in that they'll get dates outside their family, basically.
Work on this phase of the project will continue Monday through Friday for the next several weeks, with southbound lanes on the 101 being closed to traffic from midnight to around 5 a.m. The whole project is expected to be completed in early 2025. We are now less than 100 days out from the start of the Paris Olympics. Last month, Jimmy Fallon got a surprise offer on his show to co-host the Olympics closing ceremony this summer in Paris. At first, he thought he was being pranked, but the offer is the real deal. NBC4's Colleen Williams got a chance to talk with Jimmy to see if he's ready for the big assignment.
Parlez-vous français?
Un poquito.
Un petit peu.
Thank you. Is that Spanish? Okay, good.
Yeah, I think you were mixing countries there.
I'm learning. I have Rosetta Stone. I'm very excited. I'm going to Paris. So I'm watching every movie about Paris. I'm listening to nothing but Edith Piaf. I'm watching Emily in Paris. I'm trying to gear up. I have nowhere to stay, so I'm calling President Macron and asking if I can stay at the palace. He won't even know I'm there. It's such a big place, and I was like, just show me where the kitchen is. Put Post-it notes on the wine he doesn't want me to drink, you know, and then I'm a great house guest. So President Macron, please, whenever you're ready. I haven't heard back, but I'm sure he'll call.
If you were to compete in the Olympics, what sport do you think?
I mean, this year they're doing breakdancing. So, I mean, if you want. Yeah. I mean, I can work on some moves and get out there.
You're close to the podium. You're very close.
We're not quite bronze.
You're close. You just need to work a little bit more. One other quick question. Would you do me a favor?
Oh, anything
when you're in Paris,
yes,
would you run down onto the field the last day, grab the baton so you can hand it off to Los Angeles 2028?
I mean, I would love to do that. Yes, are you putting me on the spot again? This is another thing. Like, yes, I would love to do that because it's going to come to LA. Can you, I mean, this is your home. And I think they're planning something giant, by the way. You might know more about than I do, but something big's going to happen.
It's a secret for me, too.
Yeah, but, well, I'll tell you. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, yeah. So it's big. It's good. And so yeah, I will go for that. I will go for that baton, and I will hand it off to you. You're the first to know.
Hey, we want to know the secret. Looking forward to seeing him host the closing ceremony. We're getting our first look at Caitlyn Clark in her new uniform. Yes, the women's basketball star was introduced by the Indiana Fever on Wednesday. She showed off her new number 22 jersey. Now, if you're looking to buy that jersey, well, it might not be so easy. Sportswear retailer Fanatics said it sold them all. That's right, and is now taking pre-orders. Clark was the first pick in the WNBA draft after a record-breaking college career. She will make her pro debut on May 14th. Congratulations. Leonardo DiCaprio may be about to do it his way. Variety reports the actor and longtime collaborator Martin Scorsese are teaming up for a Frank Sinatra biopic. DiCaprio will reportedly join forces once again with his Don't Look Up co-star Jennifer Lawrence, with the actress playing Ava Gardner, Sinatra's second wife. One potential snag, though, Tina Sinatra controls her father's estate and has not yet given her approval on the project. A new artist has joined the lineup for the second weekend of Coachella. Rapper Kid Cudi will perform at the Sahara tent this Sunday. He'll replace Vampire Weekend, who performed last weekend. Cudi was last on the Coachella stage in 2019. One woman from New England says she'll remember her 30th birthday for the rest of her life. The main reason is the message that was written on her birthday cake. It can also serve as a reminder about the power of good penmanship. So here's the story. John Ellis filled out this form at his local bakery asking for the word 30 to be written on his wife Chandra's cake. But that's not what the baker read. She mistook the lowercase cursive T and H for an uppercase H, and the cursive R was mistaken for a lowercase n. So here's what they got. Henty. Oh no, John says when he first opened the box, he couldn't stop laughing. And Chandra, well, she loved it too. The cake has been a hit on social media, with some comments suggesting it's a joke that just could go on and on forever. Next year, Henty 1. And then things could, move up to like Horty and then Hifty and so on and so on. But it's good. They got a good laugh out of it. And I hope the cake was delicious too. Surprise! You can always get news and weather updates on the NBCLA app and our website, NBCLA.com. And be sure to tune into Today in LA on NBC4 weekdays, 4 to 7 a.m. I'll be helping you get around with traffic reports throughout the morning. See you next time on The Rundown.